And now, to give you a rounded perspective on this, I'm joined by Professor Anshu Joshi from Jawaharlal Nehru University, School of International Studies. Good afternoon and welcome to the broadcast, Professor Joshi. Well, to begin with this, several other countries are in alert mode after Trump's recent action on Venezuela. As pointed out by Dr. S. Jaishankar as well, dialogue and diplomacy once again is the key to peace here. How do you see India's recent statement on the developing and ongoing situation here, Professor Joshi?
India's latest statement by our External Affairs Minister with respect to what is happening in Venezuela and asserting the significance of dialogue and diplomacy to resolve the issues and ensuring strategic autonomy and sovereignty of different nations across the world emphasizes India's stand when it comes to such kind of situations of crisis across the world when there comes a serious question mark on strategic autonomy and sovereignty of the nations like Venezuela. We have seen that how United States of America, by intruding into Venezuela, ran an operation, and since August it was planned and US then captured Maduro, the ex-president of Venezuela, along with his wife, and they have been taken to Brooklyn now. They are in jail. And US has not only announced an interim government in Venezuela, it is also claiming ownership on the largest untapped oil and gas reserves of Venezuela. And by doing that, whatever US has done, now there is a serious question mark on international law and bodies like United Nations. And that's where now India comes into the picture, wherein our authorities, our Prime Minister, they are time and again stating about the importance of dialogue and diplomacy to resolve the issue, as we have seen that since 1893, United States of America has been toppling the governments in different parts of South America, starting from Hawaii. And latest, we have seen what has happened in Venezuela.
Now, there are also discussions around Greenland. Tell us, why is Greenland so important for the United States, first of all?
First and foremost, Greenland is very strategically located. It's an autonomous country which comes under the Kingdom of Denmark, and it is known for its very large ice sheet and with a very low population of almost 60,000 people. It is situated between Arctic and Atlantic Oceans and shares its borders with Canada. And it's a part of NATO. And Greenland also has very good critical minerals ranging from uranium to titanium and copper and iron ore and so on. So United States of America, we have seen that in recent times, Trump is trying to capture the areas, territories, wherever either they are strategically located or they have critical minerals or rich natural resources. So because of its location and its critical minerals, United States of America is now having claims over Greenlands. But let me also share a very significant fact that what Danish PM has also stated yesterday, that any attack on Greenlands would be considered as an attack on NATO because Charter 5 of NATO talks about the concept of collective security, wherein an attack against one of the member nations of NATO is considered as the attack on all the member nations of NATO. So there is a serious question mark that what would Trump be doing, because in case if he plans any attack on Greenlands, it would be considered as an attack on NATO. And if NATO members, if they don't react or if they don't then stand in front of Trump, NATO would be dead.
But so far, Trump is talking about a deal and not an attack. How do you look at the deal happening and unfolding if it happens in any case?
In past couple of months, we have seen Trump's statements and even his latest statements when we read between the line. He is trying to make an announcement that his next, in the name of deal, his next motive would be to claim the ownership of these resources and base of Greenlands. So, and as Greenland has its own autonomous status, but it is a part of Kingdom of Denmark, and we do not see any kind of willingness from Denmark when it comes to any deal with Greenland. So that's where I do see that there is a situation of conflict peaceful or violent, that the future will tell us.
So what, according to you, could be a viable way to acquire it without going against the European allies?
That's a tough question. But as we can see how the things are unfolding in South America, in and around America, also in Europe, and what is happening to NATO, the countries have started reacting directly or indirectly now against what Trump is doing. And we all have been discussing after US attacked Venezuela that Greenland might be their next motive, or the next place where Trump might go. But then there are other countries in South America as well, and European nations indirectly are condemning what Trump has done against Venezuela. And different international platforms also, like United Nations, are now coming up in support of Venezuela. So having said that, we can understand that now we can see there are clearly, division in the voices when it comes to what Trump is doing. And it is not only bullying a nation, it is also about attacking the strategic autonomy and territorial integrity of a nation. So how things will unfold, and that's where we also see that Russia and China are waiting and watching, as in if the world does not react to what Trump is doing, then it also opens a window for China to attack Taiwan, or for that matter, Putin to go ahead and annex other territories around Russia. So at the moment, what US is doing not only is related to bilaterally with the other country, it is also about, by and large, the whole global politics and the world order that we are observing. It is changing.
All right. However, White House calls it as a part of their foreign policy. Thank you so much, Professor Anshu Joshi, for joining us and getting us a rounded perspective on US's take on Greenland so far.